Abraham Lincoln was born in Hardin County, Kentucky in 1809 to Thomas Lincoln and Nancy Hanks Lincoln. Thomas had an older sister and a younger brother who passed away while he was an infant. Eventually, they had to move to Perry County, Indiana. Nancy, his mother, died in 1818, and Thomas remarried in 1819 to Sarah Bush Johnson. Abraham received a whopping 18 months of formal education, but it is said he would travel for miles to borrow a book. In 1830, the family migrated to Macon County, Illinois. At this time, Abraham was 22 and was able to start a life of his own, moving to New Salem. In this location, he had a variety of different jobs, such as shopkeeper, postmaster, and eventually a store owner. In these different job titles, he learned how to work with people, which would come in handy later. In 1832, he was elected to be a captain in the Black Hawk War. Although he didn't see any combat, he made an important connection for later in life. He was elected to the Illinois State Legislature in 1834 and after taught himself law, being admitted to the Illinois bar in 1837. He was reportedly romantically involved with Anne Rutledge, but she passed away from typhoid fever at age 22 before they could get engaged. In 1844, he partnered with William Herndon in a law practice, but found it didn't allow him to make enough money, so he followed the court.
He became the United States' 16th president in 1861. His election pushed several southern states to secede by the time of his inauguration in March of 1861. He rallied most of the Northerners to the Union cause and won re-election in 1864. Lincoln built the Republican Party into a strong national organization. The Republican Party is the second oldest existing political party in the United States. The party emerged in 1854 to combat the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which threatened to extend slavery into existing territories. The Republican Party's largest presence was in the North. Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation that declared forever free those slaves within the Confederacy on January 1, 1863. The Emancipation Proclamation was a firm demonstration of the president's executive war powers. Lincoln considered the Emancipation Proclamation the crowning achievement of his presidency. He stated, "I never in my life felt more certain that I was doing right than I do in signing this paper," he declared. During the Civil War, Lincoln proved to be a shrewd military strategist and a savvy leader for the North. In November of 1863, Lincoln was invited to deliver remarks which later became known as the Gettysburg Address. At the official dedication ceremony for the National Cemetery of Gettysburg, on the site of one of the bloodiest and most decisive battles of the Civil War. This was one of the most important speeches in history, and invoked the principles of human equality contained in the Declaration of Independence and connected the sacrifices of the Civil War with the desire for a new birth of freedom, as well as the all-important preservation of the Union created in 1776 and the ideals of self-government. Lincoln was assassinated at Ford's Theater in Washington by John Wilkes Booth on April 15, 1865. The assassination occurred just 5 days after Robert E. Lee surrendered in Virginia, ending the Civil War. A doctor was in the audience, and once he heard the shot and the scream of Lincoln's wife, he rushed up to aid the president. He found him paralyzed and struggling to breathe. Lincoln was then carried by several soldiers to a house across the street. It was there when a surgeon announced that he could not be saved and would die in the night.